Welcome to your a few days late Once Human news. It's patch 2.1.2 today. We've got new playable modes, cosmetics, rewards, and weapon balancing for my favorite keyword. But what's the weather, Greg?
It's cold.
Yeah, that's probably my fault, but we'll get to that. First up is the new scenario honor system. I'm going to be completely honest. I've read all of this text multiple times, I've read the multiple in-game text menus, and I still feel like I don't completely understand it. At its surface, it seems to be a system where you get profile badges that upgrade based on your progress of completing challenges, each badge being specific to each scenario, which is all done during a yearly ranking period with a leaderboard. You also have to be in a scenario that has not reached the settlement phase, meaning those who enjoy permanent servers can't really partake, forcing people to play with repeating scenarios like we used to. However, I can't find any information around whether this is account-wide or character-specific, but I did find this part, which really ruins the whole thing for me. Apparently, some of the rewards are unlocked only for a duration, and the duration extends by repeating the scenarios. I also found this part that says that after the annual period, some of the content will reset, and some will be retained. And I know what you're thinking, Topaz, your videos are about explaining things so that everyone can understand them. And I apologize, but the way this has been presented both in the patch notes and in the game, it's really convoluted. So I'll have to provide an update on this after I've played through some and can answer these questions. Next up, they've added the ability to change your sitting stance when on sofas and chairs. The default button for PC is G, and there appears to be 5 options to cycle through. The Visional Wheel servers have a new event until September 24th called Stellar Resonance. In this event, you will need to farm Star Advent loot crates to get a blueprint for the Gravity Integrator. Craft and protect it from waves of enemies, and the better you do, the more rewards you will get. Additionally, we have a progress bar as a region. As we reach each phase, it will unlock damage bonuses in the defense area and increase the maximum number of activations allowed per week, which will let us all get more rewards. As your personal progress increases, the redemption shop will unlock 3 tiers of items to buy, with unique items like the Sinister Grin sticker, Paper Plane weapon charm, and the final tier having a territory collectible furniture, as well as some of the more rare die options. But you're going to want to make sure to gather your friends for this event, as if the phase isn't reached within 5 days, the buffs will go away and enemies will get stronger. To go with this event's aerial combat, you can now speed up while gliding, descend quicker, have better airborne aiming mechanics, and you can now cancel a melee plunge attack. The Wish Machine has been updated, now featuring the Raining Cash, Cowboy Boots, Savior Set, and the Memento. The shop has been updated with the new Lightforge Lootcrate Frenzied Kiss. Make sure to check out my full showcase video, which includes a full pricing breakdown. Meta's Bounty has been updated, and once again, I'm going to continue to refuse to cover an achievement system that has paid unlocks for the rewards. As for the regular shop, last week I missed making a video for this ninja set. TLDR, it automatically enlarges your character's breasts, and I'm not a fan of cosmetics modifying my character proportions. Next week, they are adding another direct shop set with multiple theme pack options, and it's going to be a limited time offer between September 4th and October 9th. So tune in next week when I cover it more in depth, because we're going to investigate if they're trying to pull any shenanigans with this fear of missing out tactic. Raidzone has had a large number of adjustments, so I'll try to speedrun them now. They added a flamethrower early game defense installation. Shotgun turrets now require electricity. Servers no longer have triggerable endings or end early from them. Stamina cost for sprinting reduced by 25%, and the cost removed when gathering. Stamina recovery increased by 25%. Carry load now reduced when food energy reaches 0 instead of below 30%. Movement speed now reduced when hydration reaches 0 instead of 30%. Stamina cost when sprinting reduced when hydration is at 100%, originally at 60%. Force shields recovery only applies at 100% food energy. Reviving now resets your food to 50% and hydration to 70% instead of keeping pre-blackout levels. Sanity no longer affects maximum HP. They added weekly reset and monthly reset servers. Bicycles found in the wild no longer need to be repaired to use, but the option to have a friend ride on the back was removed for balance. Reduced the chance for inferior bomb to be a dud, but increased chance for the inferior dud being a dud. And torch, bone knife, and wrench damage to buildings has been reduced. Oh, okay, that's it for Raidzone. Back to the regular game stuff. Server launches are being adjusted for Endless Dream Visional and Anabasis Visional, which will have one open every Friday at 5 p.m. PT. Custom servers can be updated to the newest versions of Way of Winter and Raidzone by having the server host switch scenarios. They have increased the wolf spawn rates due to player feedback. The Beastmaster class can now raise up to 10 animals in their territory and reduced the summoning cooldown for animal companions to 10 seconds. Gardener's soil solution has been optimized and can now be used normally. Placement range on facilities has been optimized so you can build closer to edges. Default pricing on vending machines is now 0 instead of 1, which doesn't allow an item to be accidentally listed. And lastly, weapon balancing for my favorite keyword that I've been maining since the launch of the game, Frost Vortex, and a couple others. Even if you don't use Frost Vortex though, this is a big update. There's a ton of changes here, so I'm going to summarize it, but let me know in the comments if you guys want another video with full math and testing breakdowns. So, all items that allow for additional Frost Vortexes have been removed. This means that per player, you will only ever have one Vortex. This will reduce server lag, as these are server-side procs and calculations. With that, they've increased the damage from 30% psi intensity to 50%, and the damage triggers twice as often. So a total of 400% psi compared to the original 120%. Let's sum up each weapon. Abyss Glance is no longer the forgotten child of Frost. Its trigger conditions are easy now, and its damage boosts are simple to pull off. So it's now both a good primary and an excellent secondary in elemental builds. Silent Anabasis is pretty similar in its standard icicle builds before the boosts of the new mods. Icy Rain has been drastically buffed in its elemental damage ice spike build, but slightly nerfed in its PvP tank build due to the reduced trigger chances. The Frost Tactical Vest and Polar Jelly both being buffed makes ice spike builds much stronger for Icy Rain, but it even opens up an ice spike build option for the Anabasis. For mods, Cryoblast, Vortex Multiplier, and Obliteration have all been adjusted, renamed, and made much more useful, each one being catered to different Vortex build styles. And for additional weapon balancers, there was for Raining Cash, which had a bit of a rework. It now triggers Fortress Warfare on hit after a reload or weapon switch with a 10-second cooldown. Every 2 shots, your character pumps the shotgun to get a stack up to 10 times. When you hit reload, these stacks automatically load that many rounds instantly, and it gets an 80% damage buff based on the number of bullets during the reload, which switching weapons actually counts for. All of this basically means that Raining Cash has some really interesting new build options as both a primary and a secondary that we're going to have to explore. Doombringer had a small buff adding reload efficiency to its trigger effect. Corrosion got a PvP nerf adding the against non-meta unit tag to its buffs. And the Lonewolf's Whisper deviation got a big buff that will affect all weapon damage builds, with an increase to its vulnerability from 43.2% up to 50%, as well as a near 500% psi intensity buff to its own damage, making it hit like a truck now. So this was a huge update. If I missed anything important, make sure to let everyone know in the comments. If this news video helped you, make sure to share it with your friends. I'm gonna go continue testing my Frost builds, so if the weather continues to be a blizzard instead of rain, you can blame me. I know Greg is.